Day one of the Africa Climate Summit has come to an end, and President William Ruto has had a busy day hosting at least 20 presidents and 20,000 delegates at the summit. In his address, the president stuck to his messaging of not dwelling on blame games, but focusing on solutions. The Nation Media Group's sustainability editor, Zainab Wandati, now joins us right here in studio to unpack day one. Zainab, what would you say were the highlights of the day, and what can we expect tomorrow?
Well, two things, Priti, two things that have been of benefit for Kenya. And one of them is that the president has unveiled 3 pieces of legislation that will change, or rather inform, how the climate space is managed here in Kenya. A few months ago, actually, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry had put out calls for Kenya to submit their thoughts on the Climate Change Act, because the ministry was looking to amend this act. And finally, it went through Parliament, and Parliament adopted it. And today, the president was unveiling the newly amended Climate Change Act. And also another piece of legislation that the president was inaugurating today is the National Climate Change Action Plan that will last between this year and 2027. And this is supposed to serve as the key planning document for climate change activities in the country. The president also unveiled the long-term low-emission development strategy, because the country is trying to adopt a net zero future. With the president has been talking a lot about green energy and e-mobility, and today we saw the president arriving at KCC in an electric vehicle. So this low-emission development strategy is supposed to lead the way in that. And tomorrow the Ministry of Energy will also be unveiling a green hydrogen strategy, because the country has been exploring various options of renewable energy. We know about geothermal, we know about hydro, but now the country is moving forward with hydrogen. Hydrogen, they just basically extract the hydrogen from water, and then they convert it into fuel that can power vehicles. So the Ministry of Energy will be doing that tomorrow. And today, the president, besides hosting the 20 heads of state who are here and the about 20,000 delegates who are here, the president also did something else, and that is to unveil the second phase of the FLOCA project. FLOCA is financing locally led climate adaptation. It is a World Bank project that was unveiled at COP26. It's about 100 billion shillings over the next 10 years. And this project is supposed to help counties to build the adaptive capacity to climate change. But one of the requirements to qualify for that fund is that each county needs to have a climate change law in place. The county needs to have a climate committee at the ward level, and the counties also need to have a plan that incorporates the views of the people, that what climate change has done to them and what they, as the people, want to see as the climate solutions. So the president will also unveil that, and today the amount of money that he unveiled in the FLOCA project, the second phase of the FLOCA project, is about 7.3 billion, and 3 counties have not qualified for that, and Nairobi is one of those counties, because the FLOCA team that runs this project under the Treasury says Nairobi is non-responsive. Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kiambu County, they're non-responsive. They've not put in place these activities. But Smriti, it's been quite a busy day today. We've been on air since 6 in the morning, and running up and down, following this event and that event. If you think today was busy, wait until you see tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be even worse. So many presidential events, so many presidential speeches going on that, again, we'll be following as we continue, Smriti.
Zainab, just before I let you go, away from the summit itself, but still on this very important topic, you know, it may come across that this is all very high level, and it certainly is, but from your expertise, are we doing enough as a nation or as a continent to educate and sensitize the common man about what they can do each and every day in their own homes or in their places of work? Because a lot of what we're seeing are long-term solutions. What about the quick wins?
Well, the short answer is no. However, I should say that there is some progress. We're starting to see some progress, because before the FLOCA project came up, there were these climate change funds that some counties, about 12 counties in the ASOLs, put in place. These climate change funds intended to set aside at least 2% of their county budgets towards climate proofing and initiating locally led adaptation activities in those counties. So when the FLOCA project came in, is to build on the success of this climate fund. And it's because of the success of this climate funds that other counties counties are now starting to adopt similar models and also put in place climate change laws. And to date, about more than 40 counties actually already have a climate law in place. So we can say that progress is starting to develop on the ground. But Spriti, before I go, I should just some highlights of what was said today in the high-level opening ceremony. Okay, that video is not available right now, but we'll have it shortly, Smriti. And we're still on the ground until Wednesday when the Nairobi Declaration comes out.
Zainab, thanks very much for that. More from you in these next few days.